All right, so with rates, ratios, and proportions, the first thing we're going to talk about are ratios today. And a ratio is a fraction or a comparison. So as we're reading this, I want you to either underline or highlight some key words. So this is the ratio of boys to girls in an art class is 3 to 5. So the ratio of boys to girls in an art class is 3 to 5. All right, so do you see that colon there? Do you see that colon in between the 3 and the 5? Okay. Okay. So the ratio of 3 to 5 we are going to write as a fraction. So I just want you to write that this is a ratio. Okay, so when we're writing this out, we're going to write it on the side here. Actually, let's write it right here. So it's 3 to 5. Okay, do you notice that it says the ratio of boys to girls? So because boys comes first, the first one is boys. So the number on the top, that represents the boys. The number on the bottom, that represents the girls, okay? Now, it says there are 12 boys in the class. So 12 boys in the class. The question is, how many girls are in the class? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to set up a proportion, okay? And we're going to define proportion right here. So a proportion is 2 equal ratios. Okay, a proportion is 2 equal ratios. Erica, you're not writing in that, are you? Well, it'll just be hard to see. Okay, so the proportion is 2 equal ratios. So what we're going to do is set 3/5 equal to another ratio, and then we're going to solve. So this is, there are 12 boys in the class. Notice that the boys go on the top. So for the 12 is going to go on the top. So the top is always going to be about the boys, the bottom is always about the girls. Now, if it says how many girls are in the class, that's what you're trying to find. Do we know how many girls are in the class? No, not yet, right? So what do we call something that we don't know? X, right? We just use a variable. Yep, any variable. Okay, now, some of you, because of the activity that we did, you already have an idea of how to solve it. I'm going to show you a new way to solve it, okay? So some of you are already really good at this, and we'll talk about that too, okay? So there's a method you can use to solve a proportion, and it is called cross multiply. Okay, when you cross multiply, this is the only time you can use this, is when you have a proportion. So you cross multiply to solve. Do you guys remember what cross multiplication is? You do? Okay, so it means that, we call it kitty corner, but they're diagonals. Multiply the diagonals. 3 times x. What is 3 times x? 3x. Great. Okay. What is 5 times 12? 60. It is 60. Good. Okay, and then we're just going to solve this for x. So if I'm going to solve for x, what do I have to do to both sides? Divide by. Always divide by what's in front of x. So you're going to divide by 3 so that those cancel. And then we actually already did this one today. What's 60 divided by 3? 20. Now we're just going to say what it represents. So how many girls are in the class? 20 girls. Okay, now with ones like this, some of you are good at your multiplication facts. Keith, I think you're pretty good at your multiplication facts, aren't you? Yeah. So, Keith, can you tell me how you knew it was 20? Because you knew it was 20 kind of right away.
It says 5 girls.
Yeah.
No, it says 3 boys.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And I saw 12, and I knew that 3 times 4 was 12.
Yeah.
So then I thought, multiply 5 times 12.
Yeah.
5 times 4.
We 20. Yeah, that's exactly right. So 3 times 4 is 12. 5 times 4 is 20. That is excellent. Okay? You can absolutely do that. There are just going to be some where they're not going to be whole numbers like that. And so we are going to learn the cross multiplication. Okay?
I had basically had the same thing.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, you did the 3/5 times 12. Yeah. Okay, and then the next thing that we're going to do is find the unit rates. Okay? So when it says unit rate, guys, that's enough. If you knocked it over, pick it up. I'm asking both of you. Okay, so a unit rate is something that we are going to divide to find. So you just put a little note on there that says divide, something that you're going to divide to find. Okay, so I'm gonna help you set these up, and then I'm gonna have you calculate. And then when you are finding the unit rate, you have to make sure you include units in your answer. Okay, so anytime it says find each unit rate, you have to include units. Remember when we were talking about distance, rate, and time? We had miles per hour, we had hours. Okay, those are the units. So this says an ostrich can run 174 feet in 3 seconds. So 174 feet and 3 seconds. So if you want to find the rate, you're going to take 174 feet and divide by 3 seconds. You can either put an S for seconds, or you can put SEC. Okay, and then Jojo, will you tell me what you get when you divide that, please? Do you have your calculator? Oh, sorry. Yeah, Keith, you can tell me. Thanks. You guys will want your calculator. So 58. Now you have to put your units. Have you guys talked about units yet in your science class? Okay, what's that? Oh, okay. Well, sometimes they talk about like how to label your units. So see how this is feet over seconds? What we would say is feet per second. So that's how we would write our units. Do you guys have questions on how to write the unit part? The feet per second? Okay, so for number 3, it costs $6.30 to mail a 6-pound package. $6.30 to mail a 6-pound package. Okay, so I want you guys to set this up this time. So I want you to write what goes in the numerator, what goes in the denominator. And then go ahead and divide. Okay, so Gabe, what goes on the top here? What'd you put on the top of the fraction?
6, 1, 3.
Yes, and then let's keep the dollar sign with it because that's just going to help us with the units. And then it was a 6-pound package. Do you guys know the symbol for pounds? Yep. So you can put lib or libs. LBs. Okay, and then when you divided, remember, this is money. Okay? Whenever you have a total and you're doing the money, do you guys know how many decimal places it goes to? No. So think about like if you get a bill, right? Or if you buy something, how many decimal places does it go to? 2 decimal places, which is the tenths is the first. This one, it happens to be exact. But it's 2 places after the decimal, right, for your change. Okay, so you have $1.05. So it's the price per what? Yep, so you can put price per pound. So $105 per pound. Oh, sorry, $1.05 per pound, sorry. Did I say, well, I said 105, right? Okay, yeah, $1.05. Okay, so I want you guys to do number 4 for me. Give me a thumbs up if you feel like you got this one right without me. Give me a thumbs down if you feel like you didn't get it right without me. Did you guys all lose your thumbs? Where are we? Are we up or down? Doing good? Okay. Oh, okay. So you're going to set up the fraction, right? So something's going to go on top, something's going to go on the bottom. Did you set that part up or no? Okay, so Eric read 150 pages in 1 hour. So 150, that's going to be one of the key ones. It says, what is Eric's reading rate in pages per minute? So on the top, Jojo, you want to tell me what you put on the top? Great. Okay, now if it's pages per minute, does anybody think they know what the denominator would be? Yes, why? Yes. Okay. So if it's pages per minute, and they tell you it's 1 hour, there's 60 minutes in an hour. Okay. And then so 150. Let's keep the units. So what units are the 150? Pages. And then what unit is the 60? Minutes. Yep, the time, so minutes. Okay, so when you divide 150 by 60, what do you get? What do you guys get? Awesome. Okay, so he can read 2.5 pages per minute. And you can just write this, pages per minute, just like that. Pages per minute. Okay, so I've actually already showed you how to solve the proportions today. So whenever you are solving a proportion, I want you to use cross multiplication. Okay, so for the cross multiplication, we'll do the first one together, and then I'll have you do the next two, okay? So y times 4, that's the first diagonal. And just so you know, I usually try to find the variable and do that one first. Ryan, what is y times 4? How would I write that?
Y times 4? Mm-hmm. What's 4y?
Yes, good. Yep, 4y. Great. Okay, and then here, I'm going to do 8 times 2. Can you guys tell me what that's going to be? 16. Okay, and then, Gabe, what's my last step?
So like, what's last step, dude?
He's got it.
Yeah, divide,
Yeah?
uh,
By?
by 4.
He doesn't need you whispering to him. Okay, because you know that you're always going to divide by what's in front of the variable. Do you guys know what 16 divided by 4 is? 4. Okay, so then I just want you to do, let's do 6, 7, and 8, but I just want to go over something with you on 6, because see how this is 1x, it's 1 times x, right? What's that going to be? Yes, good. Okay, so you can write 1x or x. I'm going to write it as x in the next step. And then 6 times 3 is? Nope, close. 18, yep. So do I have to divide by 1 here? Let's see what I would get. If I did 18 divided by 1, what do you guys think? You're just going to get 18, right? So if you have a 1 in front, it is the same thing as just x equals 18. Okay, and then I just want you to do 7 and 8. 7 and 8. Okay?